Yo, 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 what up? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get into the content. I don't know if it's just me or if it's anybody else, but where I'm at, where I live, I ain't even about to sit up here and lie. It's been kind of cold outside. You know what I'm saying? It's been kind of cold outside. And I think it's been kind of cold outside. You know why? You know why? Because winter is coming. You know what I'm saying? Winter is on the way. You know what I'm saying? Winter is on the way. And winter is coming in a special way. It ain't coming in a Kevin Samuels way. It's coming in a special way. To reckon. You know what I'm saying? It's coming to reckon a lot of motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? It's coming to reckon a lot of motherfuckers. You know what I mean? One of those people that winter is coming to reckon just so happens to be the good Dr. Fauci. Now, I don't know how long y'all been following my channels, Blacklight Revelations 1 and Blacklight Revelations 2. But if this is the only channel on the Blacklight Media Network that you follow, please make sure you go and take care of that. Go take a moment, hit the About page, follow me on my other social media, and then go and hit the channels page. Make sure you hit the bell icon twice on all of those. All right, make sure that you do that. Now, we're going to get into the Dr. Fauci stuff in a short while. But first, we're going to look at some updates about COVID-19. We're going to see exactly what kind of stuff has been going on with COVID-19. Now, apparently, one of the vaccine manufacturers, Moderna, they've had some issues. All right. They've had some issues with their stock price. It's going down. Let's find out why.
And then there are shares of Moderna at the same time dropping sharply this morning on disappointing quarterly results and also a weak outlook. I'm going to go straight over to Meg Terrell right now, who joins us on the Squawk Newsline. What are we hearing here, Meg?
Yeah, Andrew, it looks like the company coming up short for the year in terms of its plans for both sales and the number of doses delivered. It's now saying it expects $15 billion to $18 billion in product sales. It had been projecting $20 billion as of last quarter, and it's lowering the number of doses it expects to deliver this year to 700 to 800 million. It had been seeing 800 million to a billion. It's citing things like longer delivery lead times for international shipments, exports that they say will shift some deliveries to early next year, a temporary impact from expanding its fill finish capacity. Essentially, it's bottling and ramping up product release to market. So essentially just sort of manufacturing delays, it seems, are shifting some of these deliveries into early next year. For 2022, they're forecasting $17 billion to $22 billion in sales of the vaccine. The street is looking for about 21.4 billion. So the midpoint coming in lower than that. The call is starting right now. So we'll hear what the company has to say about this. But guys, if you put this kind of in contrast to Pfizer, this massive company that just forecast $36 billion for this year's sales and has capacity of 3 billion doses this year, 4 billion next year, Moderna this is its first product, so it's ramping up, and it has, $15 billion in product sales this year at least, but still seeing these little bumps in the road.
Meg, are you surprised the market's not looking through this a bit, given what you just said, or do you think that these are going to be real bottlenecks and that perhaps there should have been more investment earlier in terms of preventing this from being the case?
Yeah, I think, people are a little obviously surprised, but Moderna now, it looks like, is down, but perhaps jumping around a little bit in the pre-market. So we'll have to see the reception on the call to how they talk about this. And I mean, things have been going very well. They have run into a few setbacks though. So we'll have to see just how they handle that and what the expectation is also for the doses for younger kids here in the US. There's been a delay for adolescents, and just kind of hearing about how that is going to shake out as well.
Now that's interesting. And I'll tell you what else is interesting. This right here. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think that I actually went over this. But I'm going to run this anyway because we're talking about Dr. Fauci and how winter is coming. And one of the people that's been pressing him is Senator Rand Paul. So we're actually going to take a look at this. I think this is actually something good here.
Dr. Fauci, I don't expect you today to admit that you approved of NIH funding for gain-of-function research in Wuhan, but your repeated denials have worn thin, and a majority of Americans, frankly.
What's good, Bronze? What's going on with you, bro? It's all good. You know, it's always the replay. So what do you think about this, man? I got a question for you. Do you think that winter is coming for Dr. Fauci or nah? What do you think? Is winter coming for Fauci or nah?
Don't believe you. Even the NIH now admits that EcoHealth Alliance did perform experiments in Wuhan that created viruses not found in nature that actually did gain in lethality. The facts are clear. The NIH did fund gain-of-function research in Wuhan, despite your protestations. You can deny it all you want, but even the Chinese authors of the paper, in their paper, admit that viruses not found in nature were created, and yes, they gained in infectivity. Your persistent denials, though, are not simply a stain on your reputation, but are a clear and present danger to the country and to the world. As Professor Kevin Esfelt of MIT has written, gain-of-function research looks like a gamble that civilization can't afford to risk. And yet here we are again with.
Yes, people are starting to see through this BS and more stuff coming out. It's only a matter of time before whistleblowers come out. Big facts. Big facts. My man Ulaw is in the building. What's going on with you, bro? This, I want y'all to know. Take a shot. This is the 100 subscriber marathon for the C19 report. 100 subscribers, y'all. That's where we at. So we getting there. You know what I'm saying? We getting there. So that's what's up. I'm not complaining. And I owe it all to y'all. So grab your bottle, light your smoke. Let's check this shit out.
With you steadfast in your denials. Why does it matter? Because gain-of-function research with laboratory-created viruses not found in nature could cause a pandemic even worse the next time. We're suffering today from one that has a mortality of approximately 1%. They're experimenting with viruses that have mortalities of between 15 and 50%. Yes, our civilization could be at risk from one of these viruses. Experiments that combine unknown viruses with known pandemic-causing viruses are incredibly risky. Experiments that combine unknown viruses with coronaviruses that have as much as 50% mortality could endanger civilization as we know it. And here you sit, unwilling to accept any responsibility for the current pandemic and unwilling to take any steps to prevent gain-of-function research from possibly unleashing an even more deadly virus. You mislead the public by saying that the published viruses could not be COVID. Well, exactly no one is alleging that. No one is alleging that the published viruses by the Chinese are COVID. What we are saying is that this was risky type of research, gain-of-function research. It was risky to share this with the Chinese, and that COVID may have been created from a not yet revealed virus. We don't anticipate the Chinese are going to reveal the virus if it.
Senator Rand Paul must have caught a nose hair. I think he caught a nose hair down deep in his throat. Did y'all catch that? He said he did that. He did that shit that Myron Gaines did. Look.
A not yet revealed virus. We don't anticipate the Chinese are going to reveal. What we're saying is that this was risky type of research, gain of function research. It was risky to share this with the Chinese, and that COVID may have been created from a not.
Did y'all see it? There it was right there. He did that Myron Gaines shit. He said he had one of those nose hairs and it went from his motherfucking soft palate all the way down to his tonsils.
Not yet revealed virus. We don't anticipate the Chinese are going to reveal the virus if it came from their lab. You know that, but you continue to mislead. You continue to support NIH money going to Wuhan. You continue to say you trust the Chinese scientist. You appear to have learned nothing from this pandemic. Will you today finally take some responsibility for funding gain of function research in Wuhan?
Senator, with all due respect, I disagree with so many of the things that you've said. First of all, gain of function is a very nebulous.
So I don't know if y'all seen it, but y'all got to watch my last video because we kind of actually went into this, but I'm going to play it again because a lot of these kind of videos, you know, YouTube likes to try to remove or YouTube likes to censor. So make sure you pay attention to this, man. Dr. Fauci gets so triggered, man. He gets triggered. He gets super duper triggered. Hey, bruh, relax.
Term, we have spent, not us, but outside bodies, a considerable amount of effort to give a more precise definition to the type of research that is of concern that might lead to a dangerous situation. You are aware of that. That is called P3CO.
We're aware that you deleted gain of function from the NIH website.
Well, I can get back to that in a moment if we have time, but let's get back to the operating framework and guide rails of which we operate under. And you have ignored them. The guidelines are very, very clear that you have to be dealing with a pathogen that clearly is shown and very likely to be highly transmissible in an uncontrollable way in humans and to have a high degree of morbidity and mortality, and that you do experiments to enhance that, hence the word EPPP, enhanced pathogens of pandemic.
So when EcoHealth Alliance took the virus,
well,
C19 and combined it with WIV.
Look, he got him. Dr. Fauci's. Oh, shit. Wait a minute. Hold on. Dr. Fauci started lying and stuttering. He said, "Abi." He started doing that roly-poly Martin shit. Look at this. This is instant replay worthy. Dr. Fauci thought he had it all together. Then that motherfucker's brain just started failing. They're like, Abi. And Rand Paul dove in like a motherfucking wolf. Watch this shit. Watch this shit. Yo, Bernie, what's going on, bro? Yeah, I didn't fall asleep. You know, I actually did that stream yesterday. Oh, shit. Law. I got into it with my old lady about the booster. I'm at my brother's house drinking some yak. He just subscribed. Yeah, tell him what's up. Tell him I'm turning up some yak, too. I got some of that clear yak, some 1738, that clear shit. That shit is actually super smooth. You know what I'm saying? It's actually super smooth. Pizza lunch for 100 subs. Yeah, that's big facts. When I get to like 10,000 subs and I'm actually getting some decent dough off of YouTube from the ad revenue, I'm gonna actually have some cash contests for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually have some cash contests for y'all. So stay tuned. Maybe like next Christmas or maybe next New Year or some shit. I have some. Hopefully by then I have enough subscribers and be making enough from ad revenue where I can be like, you know what? This is gonna be the Christmas thing. I'm gonna turn on that pinwheel that they have with Streamlabs, and y'all could do the damn Streamlabs thing, and whoever win, y'all type y'all Cash App in there, and then I hook it up. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things that I'd like to do at some point in the future. Yeah, man, my coworker, a good friend of mine, she got really sick. She got really sick from the booster shot. You know what I'm saying? She got really sick. She was walking around work. I don't feel good. You know what I'm saying? I hope she ain't watching over there on Facebook. I should have motherfucking not streamed this to Facebook. But if she is, you know what I'm talking about. She was like, oh, I don't feel good. I was like, what's wrong? She was like, oh, this motherfucking shot. I was like, Oh, I don't have super chat on this one. I only got the 100 subs on this account. Got to get to that 1K and get 4,000 watch hours, which, as usual, I'll be there with my watch hours before I get there with my subs. Oh yeah, I forgot. We supposed to be watching Dr. Fauci. Now, U-Law and Bronze to God, on a 0 to 10 scale, I need y'all to give me a scorecard. Anybody else who's in here, Bernie, you can participate. Everybody in here can participate. I need you guys to give me a scorecard of Dr. Fauci bucksplaining. Okay, I need a scorecard on that shit. So when he starts doing his bucksplaining, if he does some good bucksplaining, we're gonna give him, 9.5, 6. We're gonna do it like Olympics. If it's really bad, you know what I'm saying, we start with the 6s and go down. Okay, so let's check this out.
To be highly transmissible in an uncontrollable way in humans, and to have a high degree of morbidity and mortality, and that you do experiments to enhance that, hence the word EPPP, enhanced pathogens of pandemic.
So when EcoHealth Alliance took the virus,
well, can I?
Yo, what's going on, Queen of Destiny? What's good? He said, he started putting out like a motherfucking muffler that was going, we have what did he say? Whatever kind of function shit that is. Rand Paul said, motherfucker, you're sitting there lying. You're lying ass Dr. Fauci. You know you were over there in that motherfucking lab over there, down there, and you in Wuhan, making all these viruses with the Chinese. He don't say viruses, he say virus, whatever the fuck a virus is. Look at this, watch this.
And that you do experiments to enhance that, hence the word EPPP, enhanced pathogens of pandemic.
So when EcoHealth Alliance took the virus,
well,
he said pet. Then he said hence the word, and then he gave off a whole bunch of letters. Like, bro, you know you a damn liar. You may as well be on Maury Povich. The lie detector test said you did experiment on those viruses. That's what the lie detector says. Okay, we go backstage and take care of you back there. Roly-poly in the earpiece, yeah, stuttering ass motherfucker. Roly-poly with his motherfucking boot licking ass. He'd do anything for the Democrats. He probably be in the teleprompter and holding up the poster board and them spell some shit wrong. And Dr. Fauci trying to read it. He like, what the fuck this bowling ball headed motherfucker say? Pet Rand Paul's and like, see, that's why you shouldn't have hired Roly-poly Martin. And Dr. Fauci mega mixing. This motherfucker stuttering like I'm trying to sit here and lie, but the beat. That's all, folks. I don't know what's up with these bots. If it's not damn Streamlabs bot on the other one, is Nightbot over here being overly aggressive on this one. The Nightbot don't even do anything anywhere else. What the hell?
that you have to be dealing with a pathogen that clearly is shown and very likely to be highly transmissible in an uncontrollable way in humans and to have a high degree of morbidity and mortality, and that you do experiments to enhance that, hence the word EPPP, enhanced pathogens of
So when
potential
EcoHealth
pandemic.
Alliance took the virus,
Well, can I
Look, he came right in there like he was ready. We gotta go. We gotta give Rand Paul a score for that too, because he was sitting back, laid back like a king cobra. Like he just went like, just slid right in there. You can see the smoke and the bolts start coming out of Dr. Fauci's head. He thought he had everything together. He's sitting there like in the yoga position, like explaining everything all good. Then he just started malfunctioning. Smoke started coming out the right ear. And Rand Paul like, look at you. You're lying so much, motherfucker. You're stuttering and saying all kinds of shit, saying it the wrong way, experimenting on shit, making a fucked up ass pathogen down there in the Wuhan laboratory. Did you do that shit, motherfucker?
enhanced pathogens of
So when
potential
EcoHealth
pandemic.
Alliance took the
Yeah,
virus,
well, I would love to
SHC014,
finish.
and combined it with WIV1 and caused a recombinant virus that doesn't exist in nature, and it made mice sicker, mice that had humanized cells, you're saying that that's not gain-of-function research?
According to the framework and guidelines.
So what you're
of
doing is
P3
defining away gain-of-function.
No.
You're simply saying it doesn't exist because you changed the definition on the NIH website. This is terrible, and you're completely trying to escape.
I'm sorry, man. Every time I see this shit, I just start. Have you ever seen Rand Paul like cross-examine anybody else? Have y'all ever seen that? Did y'all ever see that time Rand Paul was cross-examining the motherfucker that wanted to make the bathrooms for transgender people? If y'all did, let me know. If you didn't, let me know too. Because if y'all didn't, y'all gonna have to see that one too. That's some funny shit. Now that shit was hilarious.
All right.
The idea that we should do something about trying to prevent a pandemic from leaking from a lab. There's the preponderance of evidence now points towards this coming from the lab. And what you've done is change the definition
Right.
on your website to try to cover your ass, basically. That's what you've done. You've changed the website to try to have a new definition that doesn't include the risky research that's going on. Until you admit that.
Oh my God, dude. Like man, there ain't no way you about to sit up there and talk to me like that. Man, he's going the hell in. Oh, don't worry about it. You ain't seen it. We'll play it after this. I'm about to look for it now while this shit is playing.
That it's risky, we're not going to get anywhere. You have to admit that this research was risky. The NIH has now rebuked them. Your own agency has rebuked them. But the thing is you're still unwilling to admit that they gained in function when they say they became sicker. They gained in lethality. It's a new virus. That's not gain of function.
According to the definition that is currently operable, Senator, let's make it clear for the people who are listening. The current definition was done over a 2 to 3 year period by outside bodies, including the NSABB, 2 conferences by the National Academy of Science, Engineering, and Medicine on December 2014, March 2016. We commissioned external risk-benefit assessment, and then on January of 2017, the Office of Science and Technology Policy of the White House issued the current policy.
And coincidentally,
I have not
the
changed
definition
any
appeared
definition.
on the same day the NIH said that yes, there was a gain of function in Wuhan. The same day the definition appeared, the new definition, to try to define away what's going on in Wuhan. Until you accept it, until you accept responsibility, we're not going to get anywhere close to trying to prevent another lab leak of this dangerous sort of experiment. You won't admit that it's dangerous, and for that lack of judgment, I think it's time that you resign.
Thank you, Senator Paul. And I would like to give the time to Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, well, there were so many things, the egregious misrepresentation here, Madam Chair, that I don't think I'd be able to refute all of them, but just a couple of them for the listeners to hear for.
So if they're egregious misrepresentations, then you should be able to refute all of them. Right? Like you have to pay attention to what these people say. You should be able to refute all of them if they're egregious misrepresentations. right? That's what I'm thinking. Hey, Goddess T, what up? What's good with you? Welcome, welcome.
You have said that I'm unwilling to take any responsibility for the current pandemic. I have no responsibility.
Bro, listen, man, we do. Look, man, we do, because Rand Paul ain't playing no games. We need to get Rand Paul pressing him about reparations somehow. Somebody need to talk to somebody. Like, yo, listen here, white boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll slide you a couple $100,000. Get this done for us, all right? Now, listen here, you motherfuckers in the United States. They've been treating black people bad as fuck for the last 400 years. You want to take critical race theory out of schools? Just talking over people, just laying it down. Just, man, yeah. You know what I'm saying? That motherfuckers need to get a GoFundMe. Like, yeah, Rand Paul, do this shit for a quick day and then go back to the motherfucking GOP.
Responsibility for the current pandemic. The current pandemic. Okay. Number two, you said the overwhelming amount of evidence in.
Look, Rand Paul's smart though, and he got a smart ass mouth too. He won't even take the bribe money. He'd turn around and say some fuck shit like, "Listen here, I don't know why you guys are offering me fucking $100,000. I'm gonna need a little bit more than that, because you already know that once you go black, you can't go back. So once I start talking about this reparation shit for you motherfuckers, I'm gonna need to be on a constant payroll now." That's what that's what he would say. So what will we say back when he says that?
Indicates that's a lab leak. I believe most card-carrying viral phylogenists and molecular virologists would disagree with you that is much more likely, even though we leave open all possibilities, it's much more likely that this was a natural occurrence. Third, you say we can
Tested 80,000 animals and no animals have been
Paul,
found with COVID.
Senator Paul, the time is set for.
And
Dr. Fauci
third,
to respond.
you made a statement just a moment ago that's completely incorrect, where you say we continue to support research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
You approved it in
which is
August of last year.
See, that's that shit. That shit would be so much easier. You know what I'm saying? Because did you see how the did you see how the moderator said, Senator Paul, the timer's on? He just said, "Listen, bitch, I'm white and I say so, and I'm about to go in on this motherfucker right here. Fuck what you talking about." See that? See that shit?
Year.
No, your statement says, quote, I wrote it down as you were writing. You continue to support research at the Wuhan Institute of
We were in
Virology.
committee a month ago and
Which
said
is
you
Senator
still
Paul,
trust the Chinese scientists and you still support the research over there. You said it a month ago in
Senator
committee.
Paul, I have allowed Dr. Fauci to respond. You've had your time. I'm going to give him.
He's going to
one
be
more minute.
dishonest. He ought to be challenged.
Senator Paul, we will allow Dr. Fauci to respond after you've given.
Listen, bitch, I'm about to treat this shit like it's a courtroom now. I don't give a fuck about your room. I don't give a fuck about your rules. You're gonna be dishonest and it needs to be challenged. See, we need that energy when it comes to motherfucking reparations, man.
Accusations like that. Dr. Fauci.
Well, I don't have any more to say except to say that, as usual, and I have a great deal of respect for this body of the Senate, and it makes me very uncomfortable to have to say something, but he is egregiously incorrect in what he says. Thank you.
Rand Paul looking at Rand Paul looking at him like, yep. Let me catch you outside this motherfucking courtroom. That's what he looking at him like, yo, Squirrels, what up, bro? Oh yeah, Jason Black could do it. But Jason Black is his voice is too deep. Rand Paul could get away with it. You know what I'm saying? You allowed to be aggressive and be white. As soon as Jason Black opened his mouth, they'd pull out they had a bailiff right there. You know what I'm saying? No, hell no. You know what I'm saying? It's too much. Who they need? They need Professor Black. They need Professor Black Truth. That's who they need. Yo, what's up? Big U said, yo, Spear Tech, what's up with you, bro? Welcome, welcome. What's good with you? Yeah, they need Professor Black Truth. Professor Black Truth will go to fuck in on their ass. They arrest Professor Black Truth for hurting feelings, though. They'd be like, flag on the play, unnecessary roughness. Professor Black Truth, number B1. First down.
The Office of Civil Rights sent a letter to Connecticut saying that boys can't compete with girls in sports, or
So
they
what's
shouldn't be
happening here?
forced to allow boys to compete in girls' sports. If you're confirmed, will you enforce that off?
Look, he's talking about transgenders and shit. Then, like, this is what's cracking me up though. Rand Paul is just like, I don't give a fuck about your motherfucking pronouns. These bitches have dicks, they're boys. So I'm gonna call them boys, and they shouldn't be playing sports with girls. Oh shit, man. Hold on real quick. Hold on. Yeah, Professor Black Truth with the technical file. You know what I'm saying? Professor Black Truth would talk shit after the technical file too. You know what I'm saying? He is straight talk shit. This is I'm contesting this because it's illegitimate.
The Office of Civil Rights sent a letter to Connecticut saying that boys can't compete with girls in sports, or
So
they
what's
shouldn't be
happening here?
forced to allow boys to compete in girls' sports. If you're confirmed, will you enforce that Office of Civil Rights opinion?
Hello, Senator. Thank you for the question. I understand that there are a lot of concerns about that. It's if confirmed, it's my responsibility and my privilege to make sure that we're following our civil rights of all students, and that includes activities that they may engage.
So now I just want you guys to pay attention, because this is funny, but you all need to hear this. You all need to hear this. All right. Listen closely. All right. Pay attention.
Our civil rights of all students, and that includes in my privilege to make sure that we're following our civil rights of all students. Privilege to make sure that we're following our civil rights of all students.
Let's discuss. Does anybody see anything problematic with that? You guys see anything problematic with that? Is there any issues with that, or is everybody okay with what he just said? If everybody's okay with what he just said, then we don't need a sidebar. You know, I'll just go on, run the rest of the video. But I'm curious, and if anybody missed it, it's all good. Spear teach. What did you see? That was kind of weird. So, yeah, Squirrels, that's what I'm talking about right there. Civil rights for who exactly? What is Dr. Cardona talking about? Isn't that something? I got a question for everybody. How do you guys feel about that? Oh, yeah, got your antennas up now. Now, you see what Rand Paul is fighting against? I'm going to run it all the way back. I want you guys to listen to this.
The Office of Civil Rights sent a letter to Connecticut saying that boys can't compete with girls in sports, or
So
they
what's
shouldn't be
happening here?
forced to allow boys to compete in girls' sports. If you're confirmed, will you enforce that Office of Civil Rights opinion?
Hello, Senator. Thank you for the question. I understand that there are a lot of concerns about that. It's if confirmed, it's my responsibility and my privilege to make sure that we're following our civil rights of all students, and that includes activities that they may engage in in high school or in athletics.
We're trying to figure out politics and be more efficient voters and trying to get something out of our votes, right? Now, the mainstream assumption is that, quote, a majority of black people vote Democrat. Would you say that that's accurate or is that inaccurate? Is there maybe a large minority of us who are not automatically Democrat? But do you believe that there's more people who are Democrat? What do you think? Do you think that there's more people who are independent and like, nah, we're not fucking with you Democrats? Or is there a lot of Democrats and we're trying to wake these people up? We got to be honest about this. Me personally, I think that there's slightly more people who vote Democrat than there are of us who look at these things and assess these things. I want to know how you guys feel. If you guys feel that I'm not correct in my assessment, it's all good. Let me know. If you feel that I'm accurate, that's fine too. Let me know. I don't feel any kind of way about how you guys may feel about my assessment. I'm not going to criticize you. The fact of the matter is that I want to identify a problem. I just want to know where you guys think most of the black voters are. Where do you guys think most of the black voters fall? Most automatically Democrat or not so many automatically Democrat? Melanated people should be behind Rand Paul with this at least. And this is what I'm talking about, the ability to pick out single issues. Indeed. Okay. So my question is, this guy right here, Dr. Cordona, is a Democrat. So in this situation, would you agree more with Rand Paul or would you agree with this guy here? I don't feel anything that this dude here is saying. I don't even like that sports jacket, and that blue don't match with that deep red. You know what I'm saying? He looked like the candle of the evening type to me. Probably one of the reasons why he's advocating for this. So I'd have to, again, just like with the coronavirus issue and with this issue, I agree with Rand Paul's positions on both of these issues. But you see, the mainstream media and slightly the conservative media, they lump us all together as we're this woke, liberal, nonsensical narrative that's just going to get behind this guy right here. They say stupid shit like, you know, people of color. So we'll get behind this guy because he's a, quote, people of color. He looked like he got a brother that owned a bodega. Yeah, absolutely. He looked like DJ Khaled and Fat Joe mixed. When he's in Florida, he's on one. And when he's in New York, he got a bodega. Talking about I'll sell you a chain for 10 grata. So this is how we got to navigate, because we don't have that ability to be able to have all of our issues specifically with one political identity. We have to be able to study these people and know exactly what issues they're behind. And we have to say, well, on this issue, we support you, but on that issue, not so much. On this issue, we support you. On that issue, not so much. And see that right there, once you're able to do that, see, because we actually have a strength. You see, the Democrats and the Republicans, they both lie. Neither of them give a shit about what we're talking about. And they want to deny the fact that we have influence using our votes. So since they want to deny the fact that we have influence using our votes, we don't have to vote for them. However, hey, what's going on, D-Tourist? Appreciate it. I'm glad you came. That's what's up. I actually just had, I was going through some comments on my other channel, and I had just actually responded to your question about Stockholm Syndrome, and I don't know the scientific name for it. Do you know what the scientific name for it is? So what we need to do is we need to be able to tell these people, you know what, we'll support you on this issue, and we'll give you our votes here if you support us on this issue and give us your signature there. You see, you wheel and deal like that. On certain liberal issues, we'll support you. On certain conservative issues, we'll support you. On other issues, we will support you. And on other issues, we won't. Instead of just throwing all of the money into one big pot, you see? Because I guarantee you, there's nobody in here that supports what this guy is saying. But if you listen to the mainstream media, then everybody hates everything that Rand Paul says for no reason. I don't hate what Rand Paul is saying. I just played 2 videos where I slightly agree with what he's saying. But that's what it needs to be. I slightly agree. So on this issue and on that issue, I agree with you. I got your back on that. On this other issue, not so much. You see? That's how we need to be. I don't like that. I don't like this either. So we actually got a few more people in here who were than what were in here when we first started the video. So if you guys could, please make sure you smash the like button. Please make sure you share this video out. I'm going to start this over again. And I want you guys to pay attention to what's being said. All right. And I'm going to read you guys' comments while it's playing, and then we'll discuss it afterwards.
The Office of Civil Rights sent a letter to Connecticut saying that boys can't compete with girls in sports, or shouldn't be forced to allow boys to compete in girls' sports. If you're confirmed, will you enforce that Office of Civil Rights opinion?
Hello, Senator. Thank you for the question. I understand that there are a lot of concerns about that. It's if confirmed, it's my responsibility and my privilege to make sure that we're following civil rights of all students, and that includes activities that they may engage in high school or in athletics.
What do you think in general about boys running in girls' track meets like they've been doing in Connecticut?
I think that it's critically important that education systems and educators respect the rights of all students, including students who are transgender, and that they are afforded the opportunities that every other student has to participate in extracurricular activity.
Does it bother you that like the top 20% of boys running in track meets beat all of the girls in the state, and that it, would be, completely destroy girls' athletics? The girls are being pushed out. They don't make the finals in the state meet. They don't get college scholarships, that it's really detrimental to girls' sports. Do you worry about having boys running girls' track meets?
I recognize and appreciate the concerns and the frustrations that are expressed. I've, as Commissioner of Education, have had conversations with families who have felt the way you just described it, and families of students who are transgender. So I understand that this is a challenge. I look forward to working with you and others to.
Do you think it's fair to have boys running in the girls' track meet?
I think it's appropriate for. I think it's the legal responsibility of schools to provide.
Always pay attention to stuff like this. You see this motherfucker? He's up here salsa-splaining. Dr. Cardona is up here salsa-splaining. Listen to this bullshit. Listen to this. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that? It's nonsensical and demonic. Rand Paul said, I kind of don't want, these things going on. This doesn't make any sense. And then he asks him, does he support it? And notice how he doesn't answer the question. That's because he doesn't even believe his own bullshit. Pay attention.
I think it's appropriate for, I think it's the legal responsibility of schools to provide opportunities for students to participate in activities, and this includes students who are transgender.
So you don't have a problem then with boys running in the girls' track meet, swimming meets, name it. You're okay then with boys competing with girls?
Respectfully, Senator, I think I answered the question. I believe
Nobody should be okay with boys competing with girls. Just like nobody should be okay with men competing with women. But it's kind of ironic. There's a whole genre on YouTube where men compete with women all day long. But these are the same men that say that they're being effeminized when this guy here, who is actually for this kind of stuff, is validating that effeminization by trying to allow competition between boys and girls. What do you guys think about that?
Have boys running in the girls' track meet.
I think it's appropriate for, I think it's the legal responsibility of schools to provide opportunities for students to participate in activities, and this includes students who are transgender.
Well, it's interesting that you say that, Bronze of God. This will only harm one group of black women and girls. Think about who it is. Overly represented in women's athletics, right? So just take a listen to this, right? The dominant society attempts to feminize black men. The dominant society also tries to masculinize black women, right? Now, Kevin Samuels actually cited a study by this guy named Satoshi. It's a symmetry study. And it's one of the things that he said that wasn't really nice about black women. All of those talking points, what they're trying to do is they're trying to have it where, in particular, black people are completely confused about everything, including gender and our gender roles. And you can see it's working. That's why we have a whole gender war. And you see when people are being disrespectful to their black female counterparts, one of the things that they like to say all the time is you have this quote masculine energy, this quote masculine energy. What do you see the women saying about the men? Oh, you gay. You gay. You busting your bussy for somebody else. So they already almost in the process of getting the roles completely confused, and everybody's sitting around making a bunch of money on it on YouTube instead of trying to figure out, well, where did these sediments automatically come from? Because like a couple years ago, wasn't nobody really doing all this all like that. Then you got to ask yourself about the YouTube algorithm. And Jason Black actually talked about this in his last video on the business. Why is it that, you know, certain content where it's black women going in on black men and black men going in on black women, that's the shit that YouTube recommends all the time. But if you're talking about, you know, other topics, stuff like this, you don't see too much of it. Now, for anybody that doesn't believe me, for anybody that thinks that I'm making that up, I'm going to link this into the description box so that you guys can take a look at it or read it. But this is what Kevin Samuels cited when he was talking about facial symmetry. Now, you see how they make these assertions, and you remember what I said about assertions. This is a white assertion. A hard look at the truths. This is red pill shit. Hard truth. Everybody get a glass of water so you can swallow your red pill, because this is a hard truth. Why? So we're just going to assume that this is accurate. Why are black women less physically attractive than other women? Again, this is an assertion about an opinion. It's absolutely bell curve type shit. Who said that? Who said that? Who made it? So just asserting this is correct, because why? And you never see white people or white men or Asian men, you never really see any of them talking about this. Who do you see talking about this kind of stuff all the time? Who says this kind of stuff all the time? It's not white men. It's not Asian men. It's not Arabic men. It's not Latino men. They don't make videos all day whining about this shit. Who makes videos about this kind of shit all motherfucking day? Black men. Black men. Kevin Samuels, 1 million subscribers on YouTube, quoting this study. So I guess this is based on symmetry. I read a little bit of it. It's a 7-page bunch of graphs and charts, and you know what I'm saying, a bunch of nonsense. I'll put it in the description box. But the question that I got to ask is, who is it that is perpetuating that online? Who is it? Who's doing it? I watch white content creators. I've been said this. I'm not a separatist. You know, I don't care. I talk, interact with anybody. I don't give a fuck. People got a problem with it. They got a problem with it. I don't think that we're here on the planet to separate from each other. But at the same time, I don't think it's appropriate or proper for you to drag your female counterparts because somebody else has embedded that stupid ass idea in your head. That's dumb. Somebody put that in the ether, and who grabbed onto it? And they quote that shit like it's fact. So then when these female content creators go back at these dudes and they say, you want to be like the white man, and you want to be like this, and you want to be like that, and then they say, nah, that shit ain't true, but you're quoting a study that's going in on your female counterparts that was written by, that name is clearly Asian or clearly white. How's that work? How's it make sense? This is fresh and fit Myron Gaines, Kevin Samuels shit. And nobody else is talking about it. You out here looking stupid. Yeah, that shit's crazy. It just boggles my mind how people can say shit like that and promote shit like that and be okay with it. You see, motherfuckers will submit to white supremacy when that shit feeds their narrative. This is some white supremacist bullshit. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Black men are low IQ, low impulse control, jungle animals that did their best when they were enslaved here in the United States. And black women are masculine and ugly. That's a hard truth. That's a hard truth. Who said that that's the truth? Kevin Samuels is a butthole. Did you know that he has a technique for that? Lakita, did you know that he has a technique? He explains it in shocking detail, actually. Just saying. I've heard him describe something that sounded like how he deals with that. I don't know if it's true or not. I know what it sounded like. It didn't sound like some shit you would ever catch me doing. I'm just saying, like, you might be onto something. You didn't hear it, huh? Maybe one day you will. They like to recommend stuff that has Kevin Samuels' name on it on YouTube. Maybe one day that'll come across your recommended screen. You know what I'm saying? But just understand this though. I wouldn't lie.
So you don't have a problem then with boys running in the girls' track meet, swimming meets, name it. You're okay then with boys competing with girls?
Respectfully, Senator, I think I answered the question. I believe schools should offer the opportunity.
So, have you ever had like, okay, like this? I know this is nasty. I know. We just gonna move past that, okay? Have you ever had to like pick your nose and like you wasn't able to? And it was really irritating as fuck. And like you just really didn't want to do that shit. But like you had some shit that was up in your nose that was like way back up in there. And like you just like as far up as you stuck your finger, you couldn't get it out. So then like you might do something weird, like come in at you might do something weird, like come in at a strange angle or like use your pinky to lift your nostril up. You never had that happen? You never had that happen, Queen of Destiny? I'm not gonna lie, like I've had that. You know what I'm saying? I've had that. Kevin Samuels, imagine some complicated technique to get a booger out. He explains using a technique like that for your bussy. Very old video, you know what I'm saying? It's probably down. I only saw a clip. In his defense, I only saw a clip. So I don't know exactly what the situation was. I don't know what was being talked about before then. Play the clip. I'm not touching that clip, man. I'm not touching it, but that shit was fun tea. We are human. It happens in your nose. In your nose, it happens. That shit don't happen anywhere else. Unless you one of these motherfuckers that Dr. Romero or Dr. Carmelo, whatever this motherfucker's name is talking about. Or, unless you light the flame of the evening. You know what I'm saying? Psychology was messed up back in the days. Yeah, they used to do some wild shit back then. They used to do some wild shit. Yeah. All I can say is that clip is out there. And I don't know the full context. I'm going to put that out there right now. Bro. You know how YouTube is? YouTube is just like the ocean. Look at the Nightbot, man. I'm gonna have to go change. What the fuck are the settings on the Nightbot? I'm telling you, the Nightbot is on all of my streams. I don't know why it's coming out over here. That motherfucker don't never do anything anywhere else except for put the links to stuff in the channels or in the chat on my other channels. This motherfucker just coming out keep fucking with Queen of Destiny. Like, I don't know what's up with that Nightbot. That shit is weird. Sometimes that motherfucker don't even come out. It's working overtime today. I know. I don't know why. Like, I have all of the buttons on it turned off too. Like, it's not supposed to do any kind of chat moderation. I don't know why it's doing that. I know why. Look, I know why it's getting her. You remember that video that I did, Bronze of God, the one called Computer Programming? You know how artificial intelligence feels about black women. That's probably why it's fucking. That's probably why it's fucking with her. Yeah, he sure did suggest that that we follow Thomas Sowell. Nightbot don't like black women. Just Spears teach. That's funny as fuck, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. All I gotta say is read the watch the video that I made called Computer Programming. It's on my other channel. It's on Blacklight Revelations 2. That shit is send chills down your back. That was when I actually used to produce videos. Like, I had all kind of cool effects in the videos and shit. I just live stream because motherfuckers want people rather sit here and watch struggle streaming than actual video shit. You know what I'm saying? They have a history of lying to be racist and prove that we are inferior to them, which is a lie. Absolutely. Absolutely, Goddess T.
For students to engage in extracurricular activities, even if they're transgender. I think that's the right.
All right. Well, a lot of us think that that's bizarre, not very fair. I come from a family that has a lot of girls who have competed in college athletics, have been state champions, and frankly, some boy that's 6'2" competing against my 5'4" niece doesn't sound very fair. I think most people in the country think it's bizarre, that it's just completely.
Man, how did this motherfucker say all this shit and stay calm without like cracking up laughing? They wouldn't even took my ass serious because I would have been dying laughing saying this shit. But I'd have had a crazy ass look on my face too, though. Like, I can't believe I'm sitting here having to explain this shit to somebody that their desk identifier says doctor, and I need to explain this shit to you.
Bizarre and unfair that people, and you're going to run the Department of Education, you've got no problem with it. That concerns me. And I think this kind of thing is going to lead to really just the vast majority of America just wondering, who are these people that think it's okay? From what planet are you from? I mean, to think it's okay that boys would compete with girls in a track meet, that somehow would be fair. I wonder where feminists are on this. I wonder where the people who supported women's sports are on this. I mean, we all going to be okay with hulking 6'4" guys, wrestling against girls? It just makes no sense whatsoever. And so I think the fact that you seem to be afraid to answer the question, or you basically do answer the question by saying it's okay without saying it's okay, really is a statement to a real problem we have, and a disconnect between what middle America and what most Americans actually believe. I even think most Democrats don't believe girls should run in the boys track meet. Boys should run in the girls track meet. So I'm disappointed in the answer.
What is the purpose of these congressional hearings? Fauci sat there and lied and nothing happened to him. And here we are again with common sense points. But what is going to change? That right there, the detourist, that is something that we need to continuously ask. Because, I mean, if you watch the last two videos that I played, it really seems like Rand Paul may be the only person in the government that has a slight sliver, somewhat of an inkling of normal human common sense, which is scary because this dude is a hardcore conservative. But I don't have any problems with anything that he said in these last two videos. I mean, this shit is, it's kind of weird that this has to be discussed. You know what I mean?
And I just can't imagine that we're going to have a policy like that nationally.
So, yeah, that's the end of that. We just watched that grilling there of Dr. Fauci. All right. And I'll link all of these in the description box so that you guys have them. Okay. So before, let me see, do I got any more? So I have a question for you guys. Have you ever heard of a enzyme called, it's an enzyme called luciferase? Luciferase? You guys ever heard of it? Yeah, what a mess. I know, right? And if you guys can, make sure that you hit this link right here that says subscribe to Blacklight Revelations on BitChute. Go subscribe to your boy over there on BitChute, all right? And make sure you hit the bell over there because YouTube likes to remove people's channels, and that's where I back up all my content at. So if I ever lose any of my channels on YouTube, which I'm banking on that I probably will at some point, then you'll be able to find me there until I'm able to get reestablished on YouTube. Yes, it glows. That's right. Are you like a biochemist or something, D-Tourist? Because you know a lot about like medical shit.
In tonight's Fact or Fiction, we're looking into a COVID vaccine claim that has resurfaced. A tweet Monday from Emerald Robinson, the White House correspondent for Newsmax, said, "Dear Christians, the vaccines contain a bioluminescent marker called luciferase so that you can be tracked. Read the last book of the New Testament to see how this ends." Well, her claim is false. Luciferase is a real scientific term that describes a group of enzymes that cause the emission of light. But no COVID vaccine contains luciferase. It was only used in some of the COVID-related research. Robinson's
Absolutely. You should check out my other video. I have a video on my other channel that has Bill Gates on the thumbnail. Watch that video all the way through to the end. I know my videos are long as hell, but you ain't got to watch them all in one day. Just watch what you can so you get to the end. But that video, it says a lot. He is a liar, but the people who are paying him are complicit in it. Yeah, that's facts. It's a project pushed by Bill Gates. Seems like it. Oh, yes, I heard about that. Didn't know the formal term. I am not, but I find this psyop very disturbing. Yeah, no doubt. The Satan enzyme. It's named luciferase. But I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but Lucifer means light. Did you guys know that? Lucifer means light. The Latin term for Lucifer is lux far. So that's why, like, when you see the lightning bolts, like Satan, Lucifer is depicted with the lightning bolts. Because Satan is a light, like came down in a flash of light. You know what I'm saying? That shit that they got out of the Bible or whatever.
tweet has since been removed and Newsmax pulled her off the air. If you would like to submit a question to us, just go to 10news.com, click on local news, and select fact or fiction.
Yeah, that's facts. These people are all in the cult. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. So, you know what? Wait a minute. Man, this is supposed to be the COVID-19 report, but they playing some good recommended content today. Hold on. Do y'all want to see hold on real quick. And then we'll get into the COVID stuff. Do y'all want to see this Virginia Jamaican lady here? I want to see what she has to say. Now, they've picked Joy Reid as the representative for Black people, and we all know that that's not going to work out real well. But I'm curious as to what this woman here. plans to say. So this is some controlled opposition shit popping off right here.
In the Marine Corps, I was still a Jamaican, but this country had done so much for me. I was willing to die for this country. USA!
Republican Winsome Sears delivering an emotional, inspirational speech as voters in Virginia elected her to become the lieutenant governor of their state. Let's bring in Virginia's lieutenant governor-elect, Winsome Sears. Very good to have you with us. Congratulations to you on your win last night. It was wonderful to see you up there with your beautiful family accepting the lieutenant governor win. Tell me how you felt this morning when you woke up.
Tired. Literally, because I had only slept for maybe 2 hours, and here comes the media wanting to talk about the race. And I'm thinking, it feels like I'm campaigning all over again. I was losing my voice, waking up at 4 or 5 o'clock every morning and go, 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 go.
Yeah.
So where I thought I'd be able to sleep in, no, sir.
No, sir, indeed. So, obviously there's a lot of talk. You heard perhaps in the tease before our segment that you are the first woman of color, lieutenant governor of Virginia. And I thought it was very interesting last night when you said, I'm black. If you haven't noticed, I think were your words. And then you said, but it's not about that. What did you mean by that?
Because we are framing too many issues in terms of race, and it just continues to divide us. And
Thoughts? What do you guys think? Let's run it back. Did you guys catch that? And Bronze to God, you're absolutely right. Yeah, oh brother, facts. PBT did a breakdown of that on the Moment of Truth. He absolutely did. And here you go. Well, facts.
in the Marine Corps, I was still a Jamaican, but this country had done so much for me. I was willing to die for this country. USA!
Republican Winsome Sears delivering an emotional, inspirational speech as voters in Virginia elected her to become the lieutenant governor of their state. Let's bring in Virginia's lieutenant governor-elect, Winsome Sears. Very good to have you with us. Congratulations to you on your win last night. It was wonderful to see you up there with your beautiful family accepting the lieutenant governor win. Tell me how you felt this morning when you woke up.
Tired. Literally, because I had only slept for maybe 2 hours, and here comes the media wanting to talk about the race. And I'm thinking, it feels like I'm campaigning all over again. I was losing my voice, waking up at 4 or 5 o'clock every morning and go, 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 go.
Yeah.
So where I thought I'd be able to sleep in, no, sir.
No, sir, indeed. So, obviously there's a lot of talk. You heard perhaps in the tease before our segment that you are the first woman of color, lieutenant governor of Virginia. And I thought it was very interesting last night when you said, I'm black. If you haven't noticed, I think were your words. And then
she said, I'm black. No sane black person would go on live TV and say stuff like that. I don't know about that, Squirrels. I might have to disagree with you. I see allegedly sane black people saying crazy shit like this all over the motherfucking place, all day, every day. Matter of fact, I believe that there's more black people like this woman here, like Kevin Samuels, like a lot of these motherfuckers that are just like completely off code than there are of motherfuckers who are even slightly on code. Well, what you said was you're black. What if she had said that she was white? What if she had said that? Like, what would the lady from Fox had said? If this woman here had came on TV and said, I'm white, and just went on about her business. I mean, white people do that shit. Rachel Dolezal did it. She told a bunch of motherfuckers she was black for a long time, and they listened. They believed it. So what if this black lady had just said, I'm white? I want to know how this white woman would have asked her, so you said last night you're white. I want to know how that would have worked. Like Tariq says, another foreign tether. That's fucking hilarious, Spears. But I seriously want to know how that would have worked. What would have happened? How would that have went down? Because I would do some crazy shit like that. Like if I had won that election, like if I was running for the election, I would have went up on the mic, I told everybody thank you. And I would have said, well, as the millionth white winner of this election, nobody should be surprised about anything. Not taking any comments, no questions from the press. I have to have a nice meal with my family. Have a nice night all. I'll see you on the first day in office. And then I just walked off. What do you think people would have asked me next? How would that have worked? How come nobody does that? Allegedly. Allegedly saying. I'd have done that. I'd have straight up done it. I'd have did, they always do this. I'd have done like this with my sports jacket. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your votes. As a white man, notice I didn't say white supremacist because I'm not a white supremacist. I'm simply a white man. Regardless whether I was a supremacist or not, I don't understand really why I have to waste my time with this speech. Because you all knew that I was going to win anyway. I won't be answering any questions, I'm going to the Olive Garden with my family tonight, and I'll talk to you guys at the next press conference. You all have a good night. Goodbye. Oh, the slander would be off the chain. They would want to have you locked up in an insane asylum. Why? If I came on there and said that I identify as a woman, no one would have a problem with it. So not only do I want to identify, I want to tell everybody I'm white. In case you missed it, in case reading my license wasn't enough, in case reading my papers weren't enough, I'm going to verbalize it so that you all understand it as well. You would have gotten so many donations if I said I was a woman, but black people and white people would look at me like I was insane if I got up there and said that I'm white. I mean, then she wouldn't have to ask. If I went, like, see how she asked her, well, you said that you were a black woman. Guess what? You're looking at me, right? I said that I'm a white man. The question is, am I? I said I was. What are we going to do? Now, what are we going to do? Where's this interview going to go? Because I'm telling you that I'm a white man. And you're going to be in a lot of trouble if you don't address me as a Caucasian. Because if I told you that I was a woman, you'd be in a lot of trouble if you didn't address me as a woman. Now I'm gonna go for the gusto. I'm gonna be a white man, and you better call me one, or else consequences. How come nobody does crazy shit like that? Salty ass Olive Garden food. I like Olive Garden. I like Olive Garden. They got that shit where you can get the salad and the breadsticks and the soup. They got the one soup that's called Zupa. I love that shit. I ain't even about to sit here in front. I love that. I love that Zupa shit. They would be up there babbling like roly-poly. They'd be up there babbling like Dr. Fauci was. Beat. Dr. Fauci literally said, beat. Transracial. Yeah, that's what Rachel Dolezal was. They want black men to be feminine. You're less of a threat to them. And it's because they're telling you to. Yeah, I like their bread too. I like a lot of bread. You know what I'm saying? I like Red Lobster's bread too. You know you can get them Red Lobster biscuits from Sam's Club. Them motherfuckers taste good. Those are some real actual butter biscuits that I can fuck with. I can fuck with those butter biscuits now. You know what I'm saying? I can fuck with those. The Red Lobster butter biscuits. Not them Jim Clyburn ones, but them Red Lobster ones though. I can fuck with them bitches all day. You know what else? They got some what the fuck was I about to say? What was I about to say? Damn. Shit, I fucking forgot. Run it. We are at the height of mass confusion. Anything goes. Yeah, that's what Neely Fuller Jr. said. Maximum sophisticated confusion. Damn, I was about to talk about some food and I forgot what the fuck I was talking about. Oh, Olive Garden. They got some really good sangria. Y'all ever had the sangria that they had there? It's really good. Maybe we should spin the world a bit and all claim to be white by a classification of race. Because I feel like if I was born a white man in a sexy black man, because I feel like I was born a white man in a sexy black man's body, you would have the best of all worlds. You would have the best of all worlds. No one would be able to turn you down. You'd be a white man. You'd be a black man. You'd have all the women, the divestors. You'd be like that motherfucker Jeremy Meeks. You know who Jeremy Meeks is? That motherfucking felon that accidentally took a glamour shot and got like a $1 million contract with Calvin Klein his first day out of the pen. He's like a fucking hardcore ass Crip. Y'all know who I'm talking about? They use too much salt. Who used Olive Garden used too much salt? I haven't been there since they got rid of fried ravioli. Is it good? Damn, man, listen, that shit sounds great. Them Jimbo Jangles one's extra big. Now, see, you done took it all the way to some civil rights shit now, Bronze God. You talking about pouring syrup all over shit and butter running and dripping all down the side. I'm just talking about a little bit of butter with some garlic. You done took it all the way to the Congressional Black Congress. You better come back on over here to IHOP. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he got with some billionaire woman. Yeah, some billionaire woman. Snatched his ass up. This nigga was a Crip walking ass Crip. I ain't mad at him. That shit is just crazy though. When I seen that picture, I was watching the news and I thought it was like a bottle of cologne or some shit. He was a hardcore criminal. Now he got a modeling contract. And now he's an actor. You can do anything, I guess, that you want to in America. If you're certain people. And some random unknown millionaire white lady was like, oh, I'm about to get this motherfucker right here. Snatched his ass up, never to be seen again. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I motherfucker got $1 million contract and some billionaire heirs married him. I mean, that motherfucker just went out of jail and came into all the money. Jay Bird, what's good with you, bro? Yeah. He came out of jail into all of the money. I swear I wish I had luck like that. Females went nuts for him. That's probably how that shit leaked. I bet you he had a female CEO that took his picture and she said, "Oh, girl, look at this shit. I just had to take this motherfucking picture," and she leaked it out, and all her friends, you know how women are, they start sending that shit all over the place, put that shit online. Motherfuckers like, who is this motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? And this nigga's just chilling in jail and shit. Probably fighting at the moment. I ain't mad at him though. You know what I'm saying? I honestly, I wish it was more stories like that. You know what I'm saying? Lucky break.
And you said, but it's not about that. What did you mean by that?
Because
I'm not trying to be funny, but like, this is female buck breaking right here. And see, this is that. I'm not trying to be funny because y'all know, like, I don't have a problem with every single white person, but those racist white people that be at your job, your coworkers, when you have a racist ass manager or a racist ass coworker that don't ever get in trouble, they'll come up to you and try to ask you some awkward fuck shit like this. Man, I hurt the feelings every single time because I don't give a fuck. But I don't play that shit. You want to ask me some dumbass shit, you're going to get the most offensive answer that I can fucking come up with. Oh my God. I can't believe you said that. I know. That's why I said it. Please believe it. And believe I'll say even worse shit. Now go away. I got shit to do. Unless you want to find out some more shit about yourself, I'll tell you. Sit down. I'll tell you a lot. Or you can leave me the fuck alone. Like if she had to ask me this shit right here.
Not about that. What did you mean by that?
Like, hold on real quick.
In the tease before our segment that you are the first woman of color, lieutenant governor of Virginia. And I thought it was very interesting last night when you just said, you know, I am black. If you haven't noticed, I think were your words. And then you said, but it's not about that. What did you mean by that?
I would have said what I meant by that was that I've never purchased a bottle of sunblock in my life. And when I have skin issues, I rub cocoa butter on myself. Anything else? That's what I meant by that. When I said that I was black, the one mistake that I made in my life was that I didn't buy stock in a black-owned cocoa butter company, and that I've never purchased a bottle of sunblock. Is there anything else I can help you with? Would you like to know any other questions? And I literally would have really answered the shit like that. Because, for one, in my opinion, if I was her, I wouldn't have said anything like that. She said this because she was pandering to her audience. For two, what I would have said also was, I'm probably related to you on a great grandfather's side. Involuntarily, if you know what I mean. So what up, cousin? What else you want to know? I'd have said some shit like that. What up, cuz? What up, blood? What up, gangsta?
because we are framing too many issues in terms of race, and it just continues to divide us. And unfortunately, politicians are using it as a tool because of the things that have happened to us historically to advance, I would think, their nefarious purposes. And so if we stop just looking at race and just looking at people, because you see, I'm destroying all the narratives about race.
Shit. I'm black. It's all about that. It's something like Rob's response. Facts. That's what I would have said. And look at her buck explaining right now. She doing that same shit that Dr. Fauci was doing, except for at least Rand Paul ain't bring up no shit about race. I mean, Rand Paul was just asking some direct questions in that instance. She's just, I mean, damn. I don't want to say what I was going to say. Yeah, she mammy-splaining. This is mammying. This is mammying. I mean, these kind of conversations are ridiculous. Oh, absolutely, Rand can have his moments. Absolutely. He's a conservative. He's probably sitting there right now at home, sitting back smoking a pipe cigar, watching this shit. Listen to this. This is the question. There needs to be a mechanism where we can not only separate ourselves from people like this here, this black woman here, but there needs to be a way where our voice, that we don't identify with people like her, and that she's not a representative of us. So this white lady here asking her a question is not her answer for us. We need to make that blatantly and unquestionably clear. My question to you guys in the comments, how do we do it? Black looking. Yeah. But that's the problem though, because she's black looking and everybody is looking at the TV screen. You know what I mean? You know? How do we deal with it?
Happened to us historically to advance, I would think, their nefarious purposes. And so if we stop just looking at race and just looking at people, because you see, I'm destroying all the narratives about race.
No, you're not. You're not destroying the narratives about race that your own race has about you, you buck-splaining mammy. You didn't destroy those narratives. You're actually playing those out. So there's that.
Look at me. Look at me. I am a heartbeat away from the governorship in case anything happens to the governor. And how are you going to tell me then I'm a victim? And I didn't do anything special to get here except stay in school and study. I took advantage of the opportunities. They're available here in America. I wasn't born here. This is not my culture, not my country, but it allowed me, America allowed me to come and do for myself and for my family. And I remember when I was wanting to go to college, I had to.
So that's interesting. How, the question I guess would be, how do you do for you and your family? What are you doing for you and your family? What are you doing? You're going to go gather up all the lighter fluid for some cross burners to make sure they pay you a decent wage to do it, to feed your family. That's nice. Yeah, you're destroying those race narratives. You sure are. You're doing a great job on Sambo and Uncle Tom and bucksplaining and cooning and all that. You're doing a great job of destroying those race narratives. Not quite.
3 children under 5 My husband took a lower paying job so he could stay home because he already had his degree. And I put one of my children on the back of a bicycle so that I.
So do you see how she feminized her husband? This is interesting to me. Well, you know, my man was a mammy. Just like how you want our men to be. You see, I'm a perfect one. I had my man at home in a French maid outfit, taking care of the kids.
I had 3 children under 5. My husband took a lower paying job so he could stay home because he already had his degree. And I put one of my children on the back of a bicycle so that I could get to college. So no one can say.
Why would your husband take a lower paying job to watch the kids so that you could go to college? Why didn't you go to night school and do your homework throughout the day? I've never heard of anybody taking a lower. So you mean to tell me that in your family, you have to pay tuition, you weren't working, and your husband took a lower job? Lower paying job? I mean, coming from someone who graduated from college 3 times, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know how the registrar's office would have dealt with that. Listen to this again. But this is what she wants you to believe. I'm curious as to how that works.
For myself and for my family. And I remember when I was wanting to go to college, I had 3 children under 5. My husband took a lower paying job so he could stay home because.
You had 3 kids, had to pay tuition, and your husband took a lower job. How did that work out? And then she put her kids on the back of a bike. Why did you have your kids on a bike? I thought they were staying at home with their dad. What were they on a bike for? Did you take them into the classroom with you? Because I don't know no college that's going to allow some kid that can fit on a damn bike in the classroom with you. What college were you going to? The school of the hard knocks? Where'd you go to school? Have you guys ever done anything like this or seen anything like this or heard anything like this? She's just trying to over-immigrant this shit. You know, I had to walk 50 miles barefoot to my first period class. You ain't walk no damn 50 miles any damn thing. You didn't put nobody on no damn bike. And your husband didn't take a lower paying job. Okay? You're lying. None of what you're saying makes sense. So you added an additional cost to your bills of tuition. And to offset that additional cost of your bills, your husband took a lower paying job. What? Now, a few years ago, this lady would have been a Democrat. Yeah. I want to know what government assistance program she used to pay for her education that we aren't eligible for. Because I'm going to tell you something. What she's saying, it may have actually happened. But if it happened, it was done specifically to alter the income so that she would qualify for like a Pell Grant, or so she would qualify for like a Parent Plus loan, or so she would qualify for some kind of instructional grant. You basically was doing that tax return hustle where you work a whole bunch of days, get one paycheck, and then you don't work for the rest of the month. That's what the fuck your ass was doing. You trying to make it, you trying to brown sugar it all up for Fox News. Oh yeah, I had to get on I had to get on them yams for a quick second. I had to get on them yams for a quick second. We had to go to Walmart and pay for that jerk chicken with some yams. And they paid for my school and everything. I had to tell the husband, listen here, brother, you making too much. You got to take it down a couple days a week. Yeah, defrauded the system and running for the office.
Because he already had his degree, and I put one of my children on the back of a bicycle so that I could get to college. So no one can say to me, I don't know what it is to be poor. You're looking at the American dream. So we can do better. And it's not 1963 when my father came at the height of the civil rights movement, 17 days before Martin Luther King Jr. gave his I Have a Dream speech. We're better than that. We're always going to have problems. I understand.
Why do they keep bringing up Martin Luther King in the I Have a Dream speech? Why do people do that? Why do people disrespect the accomplishments that Martin Luther King made? And why do they lie on him after he's dead? These are literally the same people that ridicule and drag anybody when they talk about reparations. And Martin Luther King was probably one of the biggest and most mobilized, activists for reparations. I don't understand that. Remember, these are the same people that used to call him Marxist Lucifer King. That's what they used to call Martin Luther King. Did you guys know that? Marxist Lucifer King. And now magically the public perception is different. Magically we quote him every 5 minutes. But before, while he was alive, he was Marxist Lucifer King. These are the same people that complain about Marxism now. So you're okay with Marxism now? That's just weird. He was the most hated man in America. Yeah, you Marxist. These are the people that call you a Marxist commie, but you're literally quoting somebody who you call a Marxist commie. They should never not be allowed to remember that this individual that they keep quoting is allegedly exactly what they're not for: Marxism and communism. You literally used to call this motherfucker Marxist Lucifer King. How does that work?
That I'm not saying we're perfect, but you can see those people at the border right now trying to get in. They're dying to get in because they know if they can put a foot on American soil, the trajectory of their lives will change.
Them Haitians put a foot on American soil and the trajectory of their life landed them back in Haiti. I don't know if you were aware of that. You might have been so busy with your campaign and memorizing those scripts that you might not have been able to lift your head up to look at what was going on the TV. But yeah, there was a couple people that stepped foot on American soil and then their asses landed back in Haiti.
Just as it did for my father.
You know, here's what Joy Reid said last night, and I want to just get a quick response from you, if I can, over on MSNBC about the Youngkin win and your win.
So now this woman here from Fox she's positioning Joy Reid as the voice of black people. Now, my question is for all you guys in here right now, does Joy Reid ever advocate for any interests that you might have? But because Fox News said she does, then, you know, we have to have white outrage at all black people because of some dumb shit that Joy Reid said. So there's that shit that we have to deal with. So this is basically Dumb and Dumber. It's Dumb and Dumber with no actual grassroots representation. No, and no, right. But out of anybody who could have had a criticism, the criticism that Fox News chose to get is the woman who is with their rival agency, the rival news agency, NBC. So you have to ask yourself, there's a reason why these reporters have these rivalries, because Fox News is going to get all of the money from the viewership of people who support this woman, and then they give the viewers to NBC to take them and criticize people from NBC. So they're sharing in that profit. This is all a grift. There's no difference between the conservatives and the Democrats. They basically write the narrative and then they play the game. So this is a game. Because she didn't say, why don't you address anything that Tariq Nasheed said? Why don't you address anything that Professor Black Truth said? Why don't you address anything that TD Hip Hop Media said? Why don't you address anything that Boyce Watkins or Dr. Claude Anderson said? They didn't say any of that. She specifically directed them to NBC so that they could eat off of that. You see how that works? It's the same as the gender grift. Kevin Samuels is going to say something crazy, and then the female content creators get the signal. They'll do all kinds of critiques on men, and then all of the men do rebuttals on Kevin Samuels, and everybody eats and is tipping it up, pouring it up, sipping it up, and drinking it up behind the scenes, while everybody else is just running around confused and crazy. It's the same shit. Controlled opposition, Hegelian dialectic. They take turns. They wouldn't let Dr. Claude Anderson up there, right? Because he might actually advocate for some grassroots things. And you remember what that one white man told that lady in that city council meeting? You're not a doctor. I'm just going to continue to call you by your name. So they probably wouldn't even acknowledge Dr. Claude Anderson by his name. Now, what I also find interesting is that this woman here on Fox, there's a bunch of people that work for MSNBC. There's a bunch of people that work for NBC. And she specifically directed this woman to the things that Joy Reid said. Now, why would you direct her to what Joy Reid said? What's even more funny is that Joy Reid and her are both immigrants, but they're going to pose this as a black conservative and black liberal thing. This is some immigrant on immigrant shit. We got a Jamaican and a Congolese woman. What does that have to do with me? I'm not Congolese and I'm not Jamaican.
Watch this.
You have to be willing to vocalize that these Republicans are dangerous, that this isn't a party that's just another political party that disagrees with us on tax policy, that at this point, they're dangerous.
The liberals are just as dangerous. Matter of fact, Bronze the God shared with me a tweet tonight that said that basically what it said was black people are so stupid, they're voting in racists. They don't even have sense enough to vote in people who are for their interests. So it looks like they don't need to have the right to vote. This was what a liberal said. So again, you have these people advocating for lynching, and you have these other alleged civil rights people advocating that we're retarded and can't vote. But it's offensive for us to talk about this. Like, if I talk about this, somehow I'm the one that's wrong, when I've given no critiques except for just reviewing what's been said in these videos. When we were doing the Rand Paul videos, you know, there wasn't too much said, because at that point Rand Paul was saying some things that made sense. Now, what's interesting is that this woman here on Fox decided to racialize all of this. She's the one that asked the black bootlick about the black question, and all of a sudden, you know, the conversation goes sour, and it goes sour as if it's, you know, any of our fault. And then the woman from Fox directs her towards another immigrant. Now, this is immigrant on immigrant debate, but it's getting pushed as ours because it's two black immigrants. What those two need to be talking about is those people getting whipped in Haiti. That's your black American issue, because you're a black immigrant American. So you guys need to be talking about that. As far as anything else, Joy Reid already said that, you know, she has issues with American descendants of slavery. She did a whole smear campaign on us, and she gets her paychecks from American descendants of slave owners. So she don't have no issue with that. So again, whatever it is that they're talking about, those clearly are not issues that have anything to do with us. But this is being framed and marketed as if it's some kind of issue. Right.
They're dangerous to our national security, because stoking that kind of soft white nationalism eventually leads to the hardcore stuff.
This woman, Joy Reid, just sat here talking about stoking white nationalism when she literally got on this very same show and attempted to delegitimize American descendants of slavery and Foundation of Black Americans reparations conversation. Do y'all remember that? So Joy Reid is participating in white nationalism as well. So what is she talking about? But blacks are a fine group of people as long as we vote for Democrats, right? As long as we do what any of these people say, as long as we're docile and retarded, we're a good group of people. It's just when we start thinking and it spills into being inconvenient, black, and bothersome, now there's issues.
Your reaction to that, Ms. Sears?
I wish Joy Reid would invite me on her show. Let's see if she's woman enough to do that. I'd go in a heartbeat and we have a real discussion without Joy speaking about me behind.
So basically, you know, this conversation was supposed to be about her accepting this lieutenant governor position, and this woman here has turned it into a, you know, this black woman here is going to have some kind of vitriol towards Joy Reid. And they're doing this all for a paycheck. And Joy Reid and this woman here are buck dancing for it, while this woman is here pulling the strings. Oh, this bitch said this about you. What you gonna do about it? Joy Reid said this about you. What you gonna do about it? Oh, I'm gonna take care of her, boss. Go on her show right now, boss. I'd have been like, I don't give a fuck what that bitch says. We'll take a look. I guarantee you my approval rating will be higher than Joe Biden's in the midterm of my time in office. That would have been the end of that. But it's got to be some long, drawn out, nonsensical bullshit.
behind my back, if you will. She talks about white supremacy. Does she know that I ran against a white supremacist? I mean,
You're a white supremacist too. What are you talking about? See, this is what I'm telling y'all about when white people start talking about white supremacy, suspect. All right, for sure, Bronze. This is suspect right here. Remember, I don't even understand why, any of this is brought up. You're supposed to be talking about your inauguration and your plan that you plan, what difference it is that you plan on doing, what you plan on doing for your position of lieutenant governor. You're not going to do anything to white supremacy. So I don't know why you would even bring that up. What is your plan? So as of right now, the only thing that I've gotten from this woman is that her plan is to go on CNBC and debate with Joy Reid. Now, my question for everybody is, what is that going to do for the state of Virginia? Because from what I understand, she got voted in to be a part of the government in the state of Virginia. But what she says when she gets on Fox is that she wants to deal with her ego trip and pick a bone with Joy Reid. I wouldn't want a politician like that. I would want a politician that could stay on task. I don't care what she said. If that's how she feels, she's entitled to her free speech. I'm all about free speech. And just like she has hers, I want the people that I voted for to be able to have, or the people that voted for me to be able to have theirs. See, that's what I would have said. That's what I would have said. She had to criticize me. Well, yeah, she criticized me. Well, it is what it is. She doesn't live in my district, so she's not somebody that really is going to be evaluating me. I don't know what she would criticize me on, because she hasn't been able to benefit from or be affected by any of my policies, but she has her freedom of speech. And one thing that I can say is that I will advocate for everyone's freedom of speech, including those who use their freedom of speech to critique me. That's what I would have said if I was her. But you see, she didn't say that. You see. So you have to ask yourself why she didn't say that. Why didn't she say that? Why didn't she say that?
Joy, come on, get your facts straight and then come talk to me. I'm waiting for you.
We hope she'll take you up on it. You have a lot to say, and a lot of people very inspired by your message last night and your win. Winsome Sears, the new lieutenant governor, when you're sworn in, of the state of Virginia, Commonwealth of Virginia. Thank you so much for being here today. We look forward to speaking with you in the future. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Martha, and thank you to your viewers.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor.
Thanks. Appreciate it, Jay Bird. So you're already not following any plans. My initial question for her would have been, thanks, you law. Appreciate it, bro. My initial question would have been, why are you even addressing Joy Reid? She's not in your locality. She's not in your district. You know what I mean? Why are you making that a priority? How are you going to serve your voter base while arguing with Joy Reid. If you're out of the office, you should be doing field work. What kind of field work is going to come from you debating with Joy Reid? That's what my question would have been. I would have seriously asked her that. I don't know what good that would have done. I don't know why that became a priority. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how that's not reasonable. I don't understand how, there's an issue with that. It's kind of strange. So now here, back to the topic that we had. Fauci and Walensky testified before Senate about the next steps in COVID-19 response. Dr. Anthony Fauci, the chief medical advisor to President Joe Biden, and Dr. Rochelle Walensky, doctor of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, are testifying on Thursday in front of the Senate Health Committee about Biden administration's COVID-19 response and what steps can be taken. FDA Commissioner Dr. Janet look at this. Her name is Dr. Janet Woodcock. That's a hell of a name. You know, she went through it in high school. She went through it in high school with that name. And Don O'Connell, Assistant Secretary for Preparedness and Response at the Health and Human Services Department, are also set to testify. So here's a Newsweek article with Dr. Fauci saying, I have no responsibility. So Dr. Fauci says that he has no responsibility. Yeah, you know, she went through it with that name. They tore her ass up in high school. They went to fuck in on her ass. Huh. Huh. What is Rochelle like? Woodcock. You already know they was doing that dumb shit all throughout lunch. She probably got terrorized at the lunch table. So what I find interesting, right? This article came out today at 11/4/21 at 6:57 p.m. So this came out kind of late in the day. But it's using the footage from that video that I played that was from like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Gonna give folks plenty of stuff to talk about. I know, right? So now here it says infectious disease expert Anthony Fauci declared, I have no responsibility after Republican Kentucky Senator Rand Paul blamed him for having a hand in COVID-19's origin during the contentious Thursday hearing with the Senate Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee. Their exchange began as Paul accused Fauci, the head of National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, of funding gain-of-function research. So I don't know if we necessarily need to read this article because we've already gone through the actual exchange between Dr. Fauci, and I actually did content on this already. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. This is weird about the media. You know what I'm saying? Like, these articles are all from today. And if you go back and watch all of the videos, I did videos about this very thing earlier in the week. You know what I'm saying? So you have to ask yourself the question about the response time with the media. Why is this stuff taking so long? Like, you see this article here. This was published 6 hours ago. All right. This is from Fox News. It was published 6 hours ago. And I did a video on this maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 days ago. One way of denying that NIH funded gain-of-function research in Wuhan is to scrub the NIH website of its gain-of-function definition. Now, that I don't know how that's going to change anything, because if you watch the video that I did about this before, I looked up what gain-of-function is on Wikipedia, and the definition is still there. So I'm confused. So I was trying to get that article to play, or I was trying to get this video here to play, and for whatever reason, it won't play. No, look at that. You guys see that? Now it just disappeared on the screen. So I don't know what's going on here. Look at that. It just disappeared. I can't get it to play. So I don't know. That was that Fox article. So, and then again, we already went through all of the stuff that the Newsweek article covered. And we watched that video where Dr. Fauci went over why he scrubbed the definition from the website. So my question is, what do you guys think about all of this? It's kind of complicated, but it's kind of not. And my thing is also, if you've been following this thing from day one, then you kind of already know what's going on here as far as this stuff goes. We know that Rand Paul has been grilling Dr. Fauci about the gain of function, and we know that he kind of caught him in a lie. Not really even kind of. I mean, he basically did catch him in a lie. You know what I'm saying? He did get him in a lie. So my computer seems like it's acting kind of weird. So if you guys are still in here and you can hear me, type something into the comments so that I know. Okay. I'm going to play a video real quick.
All right, get this. The State Police Association of Massachusetts is taking aim at Republican Governor Charlie Baker's vaccine mandate as dozens of officers face termination. In a letter on Facebook, the union president says several legitimate exemption requests were denied, adding, quote, these willful attacks on public safety personnel and the continued rush planning around the COVID-19 pandemic is putting lives at risk. And can I add, this whole numbers are in retreat, especially in Massachusetts? The president of the State Police Association of Massachusetts, Sergeant Mike Chevron, joins us now. Sergeant, how bad are things in Massachusetts now? How many men and women are told to go home?
Well, we're receiving letters approximately 10 to 12 a day, and they're being denied reasonable accommodations. However, the odd part here is they're being told that they do have a medical condition and or a religious exemption that should be allowed, but because this administration will not allow for our troopers to wear a mask or get regular testing, they're going to be separated from service, either through retirement, termination, or forced resignations.
So you tell me the force is about 2,700, down to about 2,000, and every day more and more names are being released of people released from their jobs. How does Massachusetts, how's the state going to respond? How are the citizens affected?
Oh, they're going to be seeing delays in service. You know, this morning we're in the middle of this storm, and I just heard on the radio they're holding over the midnight shift in order to fill all the calls for service because of downed trees, flooding, and the like. And that's going to become the norm. We're going to be seeing troopers held over, working longer hours. We're going to have increased caseloads, and the potential's there for, increase in homicide, solvability rates are going to go down.
Thousands are going to face the same thing November 1st right here in New York, so they're going to be joining you. So, Sergeant, was there this much concern about the safety of first responders and essential workers like you and your men and women when this pandemic first hit, and we're still trying to find out what it is, where it's from, and scrambling to get a vaccine? Were people that concerned about your welfare then?
I think that the citizenry was, but I wouldn't say that the administration was not. They're not as, at this point in time, concerned with us and other members of public safety at the state level in Massachusetts.
Do you think they understood what they're getting into? Just because most got vaccinated, and they thought, okay, I'll force the rest. But do they realize this force needs to be 100%?
No, I believe that's it right there. I don't believe that they truly understood that we do have legitimate medical and religious exemptions, and they didn't think this out, and they didn't come to the table and properly discuss this with us and negotiate.
What do you say? Is you just want a testing option? Is that what you're hoping for?
I just want our troopers for the ability to remain employed by wearing a mask and have a weekly testing option, yes.
The state of Washington's looking at you guys. The city of Chicago's looking at you guys. Of course, New York City is looking at you. And this governor of Massachusetts, if he wins another 4 years, he's probably going to do that in the state of New Jersey. So we'll see. People should look at Massachusetts and find out what you might be staring at. Sergeant Mike Chevron, thanks so much. Hopefully there'll be sober minds and this governor will admit when he's wrong.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right.
So what do you guys think about that? Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, I don't know. My computer was acting real weird. I wasn't able to get that Fox article that I had back up there. So real quick, we're gonna run through these last two things, and then we will be done. I'm not crying over cops losing jobs. Facts. It'd be better if they actually lost them when they decide to blow people's brains out for no reason, but So what do you guys think about this? ID check, vaccination card check. Bars in LA County will require proof of full vaccination. Kind of crazy. And this is from November 3rd. So y'all know, what I'm saying? Like when I be coming to y'all with this stuff, it's not old stuff. Like it's new. You know what I mean? Starting Thursday, bars, breweries, and clubs will require proof of vaccination against COVID. Beginning on Monday, even more expensive vaccination verification ordinance will take place in the city of Los Angeles. As of October 28, 80% of Los Angeles County residents aged 12 and up have received at least one dose of the vaccine. 72% are fully vaccinated, according to the County Department of Public Health. Patronizing or working in an indoor bar, winery, brewery, nightclub, or lounge in Los Angeles County will require proof of vaccination against COVID-19 beginning Thursday. What do you guys think about that? So to go out and kick it, you have to have a vaccine. Restaurants, however, are different. The regulation recommends but does not require vaccine verification for employees and customers of indoor portions of restaurants. The county mandate was phased in the beginning in early October when workers and patrons at such adult-oriented businesses were required to show proof of at least one dose of COVID vaccine. But starting Thursday, everyone will have to prove. Wait, hold on. Look, starting Thursday, everyone will have to have proof. Okay, there we go. Of full vaccination and present a photo ID. What do you guys think about that? What you guys need to do is go look at my videos on COVID-19. What's up, Matt Goodman? What's going on? I'm good. I would never go. Yeah, no doubt. Go check out my main channel, Blacklight Revelations 1, and watch my playlist. Watch my coronavirus playlist, all right? I talked about the Real ID Act. Los Angeles County Public Health Director Barbara Ferrer said when the mandate was announced that the county limited the vaccination requirement to adult-oriented establishments that sell alcohol, since they are already required to verify customers' ages. She said adding a vaccine check, look at this, adding a vaccine check should not require additional staffing or be unduly difficult for the businesses. Adding a vaccine check. You have to have a vaccine. What's going on with you, bro? You have to have a vaccine to buy alcohol. And you have to show your card. Beginning Monday, an even more expensive vaccination verification ordinance will take effect in the city of Los Angeles. That ordinance will require proof of full COVID-19 vaccination for entry to indoor restaurants, bars, gyms, shopping centers, entertainment venues, and personal care establishments within the city. The ordinance does not include grocery stores or pharmacies. The city ordinance is believed to be the strictest law of its kind in the county. However, questions still remain on how the city plans to enforce the requirement. City officials have suggested that the Department of Building and Safety is the most logical enforcement agency. However, the department lacks the personnel to conduct such enforcement. Businesses violating the city ordinance would be issued a $1,000 fine for a second violation, a $2,000 fine for a third violation, and a $5,000 fine for a fourth violation. The city's ordinance will also require proof of vaccination or a COVID negative test within 72 hours to attend an outdoor event with 5,000 or more people. That is stricter than the county mandate, which applies to outdoor events with 10,000 or more people. As of October 28, 80% of Los Angeles County residents aged 12 and up have received at least one dose of the vaccine, and 72% are fully vaccinated, according to the county Department of Public Health. So my question for you guys, as far as this goes, is this is what's going down in California. So what do you guys think about that? I'd rather just stay at the crib. Yeah, I'll stay at the crib. I get some delivery alcohol and turn on some TV and call it a day. Whatever. You know what I mean? Why would anybody deal with that dumbass shit? You can't go to the bar. Okay. Well, guess what? I won't. The fuck? Pretty soon you're going to have to show your vaccine card to buy food. Yeah, that's what it seems like. It seems like that's the direction that they're going in. So now we got an article here from the Daily News, and it says nearly 5% of unvaccinated adults quit their job due to opposition over vaccine mandates. So I got a question for you guys. If it came down to it, would you quit your job as the result of a vaccine mandate? And again, this article here is from October 28th at 6:24 p.m. So it's November 5th. Still fairly recent article. They can go to hell with that. Nah, I feel it. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it one bit. As more workplaces initiate a vaccine mandate policy for employees, nearly 5% of unvaccinated workers have decided to quit their jobs in protest, a new study by the Kaiser Family Foundation said. Now, I got a question for you guys. Do you think that 5% is an accurate number, or is it not an accurate number? Yeah, outdoor. The survey also found that 1/4 of workers said that their employer has a mandate vaccination, a sharp rise from 19% who had the same answer in September. President Biden announced last month that all businesses with more than 100 employees must require all workers to receive a COVID-19 vaccine or be subject to weekly testing. So this is what I want you guys to pay attention to. They keep saying that the government mandated these vaccines, but they didn't. As you can see right here in this article, it clearly says President Biden announced last month that all businesses with more than 100 employees must require all workers to receive a COVID-19 vaccine or be subject to weekly testing. So now what you got to ask yourself is, why is there all of this fake outrage about vaccine mandates when, as much of an idiot as Joe Biden is, He didn't tell every place that they had to get a vaccine except for the military. He gave everyone else the option to get weekly testing. So what I don't understand is, why is it that all of these news agencies keep sitting up there saying that the government is the one making everybody get a vaccine mandate when it's the businesses that are doing it? Last time I checked, President Biden is the government, and he clearly said right here, according to this article, that you have the option to receive the COVID-19 vaccine, or you have the option to be weekly tested. So what I don't understand is why they keep going around perpetuating that narrative, and why it's just okay. Why do you have all of these outraged nutcases outside protesting all of this shit, talking about the government is making them do some shit, and they're not addressing the business? The business is the one that's choosing to say, you know what, we're just going to make you guys have the vaccine. Clearly, it's not the government doing it. And I don't never take up for the government. But there it is right there. So my question is where's the public outrage towards the businesses at? This is that selective bullshit that a lot of people like to do. We're marching down the street outraged because we just want to find some shit to be outraged about. You need to march inside of the businesses and be outraged and get in touch with the owner or the shareholders and ask them motherfuckers why, instead of getting weekly testing, they took that away as an option and said you have to get the vaccine. You know? And I believe it, Skrells. There probably is more than that. But this is them politicizing it. Now, who benefits more from the politicization of the virus? Because there is somebody benefits from it, or else they wouldn't be doing it. The conservatives or the liberals. And both have politicized it, and both have stuff to gain. So who's got the most to gain and who's got the most to lose? And who's going to cause the most ancillary damage to us? Because regardless of what any of these parties do, they're going to attempt to cause damage. The new policy, which was put in the hands of the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, is under review, but could potentially cover over 2/3 of private businesses if implemented, NBC News reported. According to the KFF survey, 1/3 of vaccinated workers that are still employed said that they would rather quit their jobs instead of adhering to the federal mandates. Are those federal mandates or are they company mandates? It's just to add insult to injury when it comes to Biden. His approvals are low. Let's hammer it home. No, I totally agree. And that's not just a Biden thing. You know what I'm saying? Anytime these politicians don't get what they want to, the first thing they want to do is hammer it home. And usually it starts with black people. So nobody will be cooperative with these vaccines. Let's show how we can. Let's make an example out of these niggers. Okay. Why are you making an example out of us? Right now, only 1/4 of workers say that their employer has required them to get a vaccine. So it's still quite hypothetical for these workers to say that they would leave their jobs, said Luna Lopes, a senior survey analyst at the Kaiser Family Foundation. She added that the results indicate a sense of people's attitudes towards mandated action. I mean, why should anybody care about mandated action? And also, you're dealing with a whole sector of the population that never had mandated action. These people out here are running around. They've never dealt with any of this. They've never dealt with having to do what they're told. They've never dealt with martial law. They've been part of the martial law. So this is culture shock for them. This is why they're taking it so hard. You know, our whole existence in this country has been like a 400-year-long vaccine mandate. So, you know, we don't give a shit. But it's interesting to look at everybody else squirming and acting like, you know, this is insane. Yeah, it is. It's what we've been saying. Many unions and private organizations have strongly warned the White House about the possible detrimental effects the vaccine and testing mandates could have on their businesses. The National Association of Manufacturers was among the organizations that did so. At small facilities with barely more than 100 employees in particular, the departure of even one of the highly valued team members could lead to production challenges if not managed or planned appropriately, wrote Robin Boserling, a lobbyist for the group last week. For larger companies, even losing 1% of a production team could have operational consequences given the specialized nature of a skilled manufacturing worker. The KFF survey went on to say that 60% of unvaccinated workers said that they would seek a medical, religious, or other type of exemption to avoid getting the vaccine. There's a lot of a lot of options that people would try to exhaust before leaving a job, said Lopes. According to the latest data from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, nearly 58% of the country is fully vaccinated, 70% of whom are adults. All right. So that's it. So my question, as usual, for you guys is, what do you think about that? Neely Fuller said we're still on a slave ship, and he was right. He ain't never lied. Neely ain't never lied. You know what I mean? So, I think it was Fantizzi. Fantizzi sent me this article. I want you guys to see it. What does this say right here? It says Sweden extends pause of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine in young people under 30 due to concerns the shot causes heart rate inflammation. What do you guys think about that? If you guys go to the beginning of this video, in the beginning of this video, there's a video where they talked about the Moderna stock price going down. Those findings were found. All of a sudden, the stock price goes down. But that video about the stock price going down didn't say anything about that article that I just put up on the screen. So next time on the next C19 report, guess what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about that. Because if you ask me, I think that is one of the reasons why the stock price is not where it was. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys watching the live stream. Please make sure that you leave a comment after the stream in the comment section. All right. Please make sure that you smash the like button if you haven't liked it already. Please make sure and go through the channel and watch all of the content. Leave comments as you do. If you see any good COVID-19 information, y'all already know what to do. Oh yeah, I'll put the article in the description box. All right. Y'all already know what to do. Make sure you smash the like button. Watch all of the COVID content. All right. Make sure that you go subscribe to Blacklight Revelations 1 and 2. Make sure you hit the backup channels. Make sure you hit Facebook and Twitch. All right. You Law, J Bird, Skrells, everybody that's in here, everybody that's been watching. Matt Goodman, welcome to the Blacklight family. You know what I'm saying? I will catch all of you guys and everybody who was here earlier, Queen of Destiny and all of them. I'll catch you guys on the next video. I really appreciate you guys watching. This was the 100 subscriber extravaganza. So you know what we got to do? We got to get to that 1K and beyond. All right? I will catch you all on the next video. Thank you so much, y'all, for making the Blacklight Revelation channels what they are becoming. Peace.